in the car today. So today I'll be sharing everything Calvin and I ended up doing for our wedding. And I did 2 kind of planning videos right when we got engaged and we started to think about what we wanted to do. A lot has happened since then, and I'm going to put in some photos and some video from the wedding and go through how we planned it all, what we ended up doing, and how much everything cost. So I hope this feels like, super casual, just catching up. Let's chat everything wedding related. Quick rundown, Calvin and I got engaged in November of 2020 and we got married in August of 2021. So in between that time, we went through a lot of different ideas and eventually landed on, okay, let's just keep it super simple. Let's just elope. Honestly, let's just go to a field somewhere, get an officiant, do it super simple. And the reason we wanted to do that is because it was just a really stressful time in the world and in our personal lives as well. Calvin works in healthcare and it was just like very stressful. And when we got engaged, we really just wanted to get married the following year in 2021. And we decided on the month of August to get married. June 2021, that's when we really started to take action and book things and get it together. And then we worked backwards from there. First, let me just describe like how our wedding went, like what did it look like. I would describe this wedding as like in between an elopement and a small wedding, like an intimate micro wedding that's very basic and minimal. We got married at the Prado Loft in Toronto. It's a beautiful studio kind of event space that you can rent out. So we rented out 4 hours and we had our ceremony there with our immediate family members. That was about 13 people in total. And we had an officiant and a photographer, a videographer, and that's it. The ceremony lasted about half an hour, and then we had like half an hour before and after to take photos, portraits, family photos, those like lovey-dovey wedding kind of photos, along with video. And then we went to a restaurant not too far from the venue and had a lovely family meal. It was actually the first time my family and Calvin's family were meeting like all together. And then Calvin and I drove off to a hotel downtown and ate cup noodles and passed out because we were so tired. So that was how the day went. And honestly, when I think back, like it makes me so happy because it was so fun and lovely and low stress. And that's really what I want to highlight, is that this whole experience from like planning to executing to actually like the day of was so easy. And I think that was really important to us because, like I said, it was a really stressful year, and the stress of like planning an actual wedding, like a big wedding, we just didn't have like the mental capacity for it. So we went a super simple, minimal route and we had no regrets. Well, maybe a few things. I might get into that, but on the whole, things went really, really well. So now I'll go over everything we ended up booking. On the screen, I'll put up like how much we spent on it. In me sharing how much we spent on certain things, I hope to just give you an idea if you're currently planning a wedding or you might be in the next couple of years, just like what things could cost, where you could save, because Calvin and I really went the route of let's only get what's essential, what will really add value to the wedding, and not just like things that people traditionally get for weddings, things that can kind of add up if you don't nip it in the bud. This is just how we did ours, and hopefully it's helpful. So first things first, where we saved costs was we planned everything ourselves. I would say, and I think Calvin would agree, that I took on the majority of the planning because I am just more particular when it comes to how the day would unfold. And also Calvin was really busy, so he just kind of let me run with things. Because we were just doing a small micro wedding, I felt confident that we could just do it ourselves. The first thing we booked was our venue. I came across an Instagram post by a wedding photographer in Toronto who shot this beautiful micro wedding in that location, and I saved that post and I was basically like, I want to do this. So I looked into it. We decided, okay, we'll just do the ceremony and photos at the wedding venue. We won't have a meal there. Maybe we can do a meal outside, like at a restaurant, if things are open at that time. And they were allowing, I think, 25% capacity at that time. And we rented the east and west rooms of the Prado loft, and altogether I think the capacity was 100. So we could have 25 people inside the ceremony space, which was perfect. Calvin, me, officiant, photographer, videographer, my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister-in-law, and then Calvin's mom, Calvin's dad, Calvin's brother, Calvin's sister-in-law, niece and nephew, Calvin's sister and brother-in-law, and Calvin's grandma. So we booked the space, and then we needed to book the officiant. So I literally just Googled wedding officiant Toronto and came across this website called All Seasons Weddings, and they have like a roster of officiants from across like Ontario. You can check out their bio, you can look at reviews, and then you book them online. And if they're available on that date, they make it super easy to like confirm, and then they take you through like everything you need to do, like what you need to do about your marriage license, like when to pick up the documents, when to send it after the wedding, like all the things that like would have been kind of overwhelming to me at that time. They laid it out really clearly. Their communication was great, and I felt really comfortable going with them. So we booked a lovely woman named Cecilia, and we chose her because she can also speak Cantonese, and Calvin's grandmother is a little bit more comfortable speaking in Cantonese. So we thought, okay, maybe this officiant will be able to do the ceremony in both English and some of it in Cantonese, which she did end up doing, and it was really, really appreciated. So we booked her. Thankfully, she was available. Also, one thing to note, we landed on a Wednesday for our wedding, which is kind of unconventional, but we did that because we didn't have a lot of time between when we actually felt comfortable booking things to when we wanted to have the wedding. Things are booked so far in advance, so we knew we'd have a better shot of getting all our vendors in a row if we did it on like a random day in the middle of the week. So the officiant was available, we had our venue, and then we wanted to secure our photographer. So we ended up going with Justin Ju, who is based in Toronto, and he also does some work in Vancouver. I reached out to him to get a quote, and then we also booked one of the videographers that he works with for 2 hours as well. And the reason we wanted to do a video, although it can make things a lot more expensive, is because not everyone who we wished could witness our wedding would be able to. So we thought, let's just invest in a video, and that way we have something to remember it by, and we can share it with people. So the photo and video package were the most expensive part of the wedding. I think it was totally worth it because honestly, and I know everyone says this, but at the end of the day, like the photos and the video are what you're left with, besides like your husband. But it was really important to us to have beautiful photos that we would treasure forever. And now I think we're in like July, and the next thing I needed to check off was the flowers. So I kind of had a vision in mind, like I wanted a white and like light purple and pink bouquet. So I looked around a few florists in the area and found Flowers by Cece, and she was amazing to work with, and she made me feel so comfortable and like excited with me about the wedding, which was really nice. So we ended up purchasing a bridal bouquet for me, and then a large floral kind of statement piece with a golden vase rental, and it was beautiful but expensive. It was really expensive. And then we also got like a little basket of flower petals for my little niece, who was like 3 at the time. She's adorable. So she was our flower girl, and she sprinkled some rose petals before I walked down the aisle. The flowers, I knew they were going to be expensive, and honestly, I'm so happy with how they turned out, but they were expensive, especially the large kind of centerpiece at the back. It was definitely more than we would have liked to spend because, you know, they're going to perish, like we're not really going to use them after the wedding. So Karen, my sister-in-law and Calvin's older sister, was really sweet and offered to take that floral arrangement to a retirement residence the day after our wedding, and it was like the perfect idea, and I'm so glad it went somewhere where people can enjoy it, and that honestly made it worth it. So thank you, Karen. And my bridal bouquet we dried, and we turned it into a cute little floral like framed piece. Here's what the final product looked like, and it currently lives in our bedroom. And I guess because we were kind of in a rush to book things, I didn't bother, nor did I have the time to really shop around and look for the best deal. So when I found Flowers by Cece and she came to me with a bouquet design that I loved, I was happy to just go with that. But if I had more time, I probably would have taken my time and shopped around a bit more. So at this point, all of the necessities in our mind are there. What was really nice was indoor dining was set to reopen kind of near our wedding date, like before. So we decided to have a family dinner out at a restaurant and book that private space. So we went with Marbin Restaurant in downtown Toronto, and it was delicious. The staff were so warm and lovely, and we were basically the only ones in there. Like, there were a lot of people out on the patio. It was like a lovely kind of private dining experience, and it was a pricey dinner, but it was delicious, and it was for like 13 people, worth it. So that's kind of how it went down. And then other costs, Calvin's suit and my dress were like under $1,000 all in. So Calvin got a suit from Indochino that was like custom made with his measurements. And then my dress was from JJ's house, and it was like a super budget friendly dress that I absolutely adored. And all of our family members were like gushing over the dress. My shoes I also got online at Vince Camuto. My jewelry, I wore a pair of earrings from Ana Luisa. And then other jewelry, I wore pieces that were given to me by family members who I love and miss. And of course, I want to talk about like the beauty part of it, hair and makeup. So I ended up doing my own hair and makeup, and it's for a few reasons. A, I just really enjoy doing my own hair and makeup, and I know my face best. I know my hair best, and at that time also, like, it was just complicated to book people and bring them in for trials and then have just another person added to like our tally when it came to the indoor gathering. We just wanted to keep it super streamlined and save on like the few $100s that it would cost to hire someone to do my hair and makeup. I did buy some new makeup for it, and you can see like my wedding makeup haul. And I ended up using that makeup. I did some individual false lashes. I was happy with it. It was really relaxing and kind of grounding for me to do my own makeup the morning of the wedding. And I just did it at home. And then we went to the venue and then changed into our suit and dresses at the venue. And for my hair, okay, so let's talk about the Dyson Airwrap. I borrowed my mother-in-law's Dyson Airwrap for my wedding hair, and I had to practice for like a week leading up to it. And honestly, I'm really happy with how it came out. It was really like nice, loose curls, and I tucked kind of two pieces behind my head with a little clip. There you go, that was my hair. A few months after the wedding is when I started to really like get into makeup again and trying new products. I have products now that I've purchased within the last few months that I wish like, oh, I wish I used this on my wedding day because it would have been so good. But anyway, so those are all the things that we spent money on. We didn't have to do decor really beyond that flower statement piece because the venue is just really minimalistic. It came with all the furniture that we could rearrange to how we liked. Paper invites, we did not do that. We just emailed our families to say, here's the venue, here's the date, here's where we're going for dinner, here's where to park. That's it. We just emailed them. This is how much we ended up spending on our actual wedding. We're really, really happy with how it turned out. And has anything changed since the wedding? Not really. I think it's cool now that we get to like really plan and like build our future. So if you're planning a wedding and any of this sounds like something you'd want to explore or you want more details on, feel free to message me or leave me a comment and I'll do my best to answer. I think honestly, I know everyone says this, but like really, the day does go by quickly and it's tiring. Even like for us, it wasn't a big wedding at all where we had to socialize with dozens of people, but it was still tiring because like you're kind of anticipating it like all month, all week. And then the day comes and you probably didn't sleep that well the night before and you know, you're thinking about a million things, but really just soak it all in and hopefully you have a photographer you trust to capture all the moments so you're not pressured to like capture all those moments. By the way, unrelated to the wedding, but very related to my channel, I'm wearing the new Rose Ink serum foundation today. I really like it. It's an interesting formula, unlike anything I've tried before. Really light coverage, really sheer and dewy. And I did kind of build up more coverage on top of it with my NARS creamy concealer and a bit of mineral powder. But I will do a review video on that tinted serum as well because it's really gorgeous. So yeah, I'm wearing that, and then on my lips I just filmed 4 shade swatches of the Merit lip oils, and the shade I'm wearing right now is Cara Cara. I'm also using the Rose Ink brow gel. I like it. It's really soft. It's supposed to be nice and conditioning for your brow hairs.